Alright guys, what's up? Alrighty guys, welcome back to episode 5. What the fuck is wrong with this? Fix this game notch. What the fuck? Holy shit. Fuck my life. Welcome back to episode 11 of Minecraft. Episode 20 to episode 30. Holy crap. 50 freaking episodes. No, it's not all I want. Oh, but fuck it. Alrighty guys, welcome back to some more Minecraft, and today's episode 60, it's episode 75, episode 90 of my Minecraft Let's Play. Alright, you guys, welcome to episode 100 of my Minecraft Let's Play. Holy effing hell. What the fu- How did I make 100 episodes of this game? This is absolutely ridiculous, but here we are. 101 episodes, I guess? There is a part, I think there's a couple of 2-part episodes, but regardless, this is the 100th installment of my Let's Play, excluding those ones. But this is insane, you guys. This has been a massive, a really unpredicted kind of journey that I've gone upon. I'm trying to think of something else that isn't so cliched as journey, but that's what it's been. It's been crazy. when I started this Let's Play, I kind of did it because I was bored at, like, in the middle of the night, and I just thought, why not? We'll give it a go. I'll talk to myself here, see how it goes down, and here we are. Hours and hours of content later, here we are at the 100th episode that I've ever made for this game. And for this episode, I've got a few things to show you off, but of course, I think it's more than necessary that we go over what we have achieved over these 100 episodes. So today, I'm going to give you guys the world tour, the most official world tour that was ever created, legit as legit gets. So I don't know how exactly I'm going to, structure this, where I'm going to go first, and what I'm going to talk about where. But I'm going to try and show you guys absolutely every single thing that I've created in this world into one episode. And as well as a little surprise, potentially. Wouldn't be surprised if it was guaranteed at the end. But I guess you'll have to find that out in all good time. But we didn't actually get to this jungle. A few of you may know. It's nice to know that even though this Let's Play is 100 episodes strong, people are still watching from episode 1. So for you guys who are just like the mega awesome people, I thank you guys so much for that. I don't know what it is, but I don't know, it's just nice to know that somebody's been watching the whole time, especially how much content I've put out of this game, and to know that there's people who's watched every single moment of it is just amazing, and it boggles my mind, let alone my expectations I had in the beginning, which to be fair weren't very high. But this Let's Play's done more than just make, I don't know, content for YouTube. It's kind of allowed me to, I don't know, get more comfortable with talking to myself, doing commentary, I suppose. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I don't know if I'm just getting weirder and weirder every time I make an episode. I'm just getting more and more competent at being weird. But there was actually one thing I wanted to check out. But yeah, I don't know, this Let's Play it's done wonders for kind of keeping a conversation going, I suppose. And there's no better way to test yourself how good you are at keeping a conversation going than recording like a half-an-hour episode with no one else but yourself to keep yourself rolling. So I think it's been a valid test of my talking ability, if anything else. But this is ridiculous. I can't even jump. I've been playing this game for hours and hours and hours and hours. I can't even jump up a simple little slope. But anyway, what we've got here, we've been here a few times before. This is the end of the line of my mob trap, and often I will AFK up in this bad boy for hours on end. And I just wanted to check this out before we go anywhere, because I have been using this for quite a while. I don't know how much we're going to have. Let's just check out inventory. There's stuff going everywhere. The fapalicious spiders are making noises. We've got a fair bit of stuff there. I don't know how much. Okay, so I kind of underestimate every time I do this how much I actually get. But I'm not going to spend all the time obviously sorting out mob gear. So I'll join you guys once we're back. But I think I might show you actually how much gunpowder we get total. I'll join you guys once I've done filtering it all. Okay, so here we are at the final result. That's how much gunpowder I got. This chest was empty. I've just dumped this crap here just because I can. But I think it's 9 stacks across any given chest. Multiply that by 3 is 27 plus 8 is almost 36 stacks. I hate doing maths. If there's one thing I've learned throughout this series, it's not to do math in my head. But 30 plus stacks of gunpowder from sitting still, I can't complain with that. But I quickly learned that this elevator making business is kind of annoying, so eventually I opted out for the more simple option. But yeah, I've built that quite recently. That's something that isn't exactly as extravagant as some of the other stuff I've done. But as I said, I have no idea how I'm going to order this. My goal is just to get as much as I can show you at. I'll be really sad if I miss something. I completely forgot I made a slime farm. Like that, for example, would have annoyed me had I not mentioned it. But I've turned the Minecraft music on for today, considering that it is a very, very special milestone. I don't know exactly if that's like something to celebrate. It's not like cracking out the champagne. We're just turning the music up. But here we have my arena. And this project was deceptively easy to build. I didn't really spend too long on it, but I really like it. I originally built this at about episode 40, episode 30, somewhere around that kind of area. And when opening your world to LAN was available, I kind of thought I would be able to play multiplayer with my fans, my subscribers, my buddy buds, and kind of PvP with you guys. But I haven't been able to do that. I kind of overestimated what exactly that update would have done. But turns out we could only just play by LAN. So that's why I haven't put this thing to use, but I still think it looks really cool. Moving onwards. This music. So atmospheric. So I guess we shall move on to the mountains, I suppose. And this was also kind of a later kind of build. Been working on this probably in the last 15 episodes, I estimate. But basically this kind of an area I wanted to start expanding my world. You'll notice that I do a lot of... Let's grab that. Let's save that for a rainy day. Most of my builds were done within the jungle over yonder, and I felt like expanding, so I built this giant thing. I get 100 episodes. I still can't talk for shit. But anyway, I guess I better show you guys the full version of what this thing looks like. And this was just a random build. I don't know what inspired this, but I just felt like doing a random kind of shape, and I just incorporated that into this building. It doesn't serve many purposes other than aesthetics, but I was really happy with how it turned out. And it's always nice to finish a really hard kind of long build and just look at it once you're finished. But yeah, I really like the waterfall in the center. I really like most of it. I can't complain. I surprise myself occasionally with my builds. Often I'll build something that I consider mediocre a lot of the time, but occasionally I pull out something out of my butt that I didn't expected, and that was kind of one of those things, I suppose. But originally I had these two buildings just separate, but after a bit of work I actually made this pathway here, and we now have a legit as pathway to get from A to B, B being this watchtower. And this thing, I don't know, I probably need to expand this area a little bit more. I kind of got started and stopped straight away. I don't know why that happened, but I really felt like building cobblestoney, like castle-iness in the mountains, so that's what I did. I built this thing, I built that other thing, and it was a couple of episodes, I suppose. But I guess that's about it for this island, I suppose. I haven't really worked too much on this in comparison to the other stuff, but I'm still really happy with how it all turned out. But I guess that is as it was. We better eat some baked spuds. That is the watchtower, and also a random mega mildly big sized build, I suppose. But I think, yeah, as I said, that's it for the mountains. And unfortunately in these mountains I can't exactly get emerald ore, so I haven't exactly, destroyed the mountainside. Otherwise I probably would have, if I could get the emeralds. It's kind of annoying when you've played this game for so long, Creeper, don't you terraform without my permission. It's kind of annoying when you play this game for so long in your versions. It's just so outdated. We started this Let's Play in 1.2 of Minecraft. not the alpha days or the beta days, my bad, but I don't know, what would you call it, the full version? It's kind of weird that the full version, like 1.2s, 1.3s, are overlapping the beta days and the alpha days, and it gets very confusing when you're explaining stuff. Mate, can you get off my tush? But anyway, on looking on to my next build that I so happened to build, and what happened here, this is like an episode where I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I want to do something. So I tried to build a modern style house. I saw all these pictures of people. Alright, we need an arrow for future reference, because this bow has got, of course it gives me 4 bones, but not an arrow. Anyway, I got into a Minecraft subreddit and checked out a lot of builds that people were doing. And what was fairly popular was modern builds, just making really cool houses with very little blocks, and I thought I'd give it a go, and this is what I came up with. Not amazing, but I don't know, I was kind of happy with it. It took deceptively a long time to build this thing. It's hard to get really happy with anything you do when it's really nitty-gritty kind of stuff, but that's what I came up with. I guess we can do the shortcut. No, we can't. Now I'm stuck. F my life. Bam, thank goodness for ender pearls. But yeah, this is kind of the final result that we came up with, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And needless to say, that's been the last modern build I've done in a while. Back in the day when signs couldn't stack, and I don't know, I actually got a comment in my Skyblock series on episode 3. I can't remember who exactly told me this. I hate not knowing who told me these things, but I kind of blast through the comments a lot of the time. And someone gave me a great tip, and something I didn't even know. Something I've done so many videos, so much information has poured into my head about this game that I didn't even know this existed. But if you press F3 and H at the same time, it'll actually show the durability and the item IDs of your items, which is a really good thing to know if you're kind of mining and your pickaxe is borderline broken. Very, very handy tool. So thank you to the person. Hopefully you know who you are. I do thank you, and to anyone who's left any kind of constructive comment, any form of help, any wisdom in the form of a comment. I appreciate the shit out of you guys, because you what make this Let's Play worth doing. I don't know, it's kind of a test to my patience sometimes, this game, but a lot of the time the best thing out of this Let's Play are the people that are watching it. So for that I thank you guys. I can't say that enough, but anyway, moving on to the next build, we have a tree farm. I'm just going to weave in like thank yous and stuff, whatever. This is my tree farm that I also built recently. Mine shaft down there, not really worth screen time, you guys may have seen it before. But here we are, a tree farm here. I built this very recently, and this is a pinewood tree farm that I considered upgrading because of the lack of the awesomeness that oozed out of my previous one. It was very, very mundane. It held about, I think it was a 3x3, so 9 trees total, where this one holds about 25, I think it is, something around those lines. But again, I really like the design of that. It took a long time, but eventually we got that done. Again, we have built that quite recently, but this is going to be like a turn back time kind of episode, trying to nostalgia all over your face. But here we are at my wheat farm, and you guys would have seen this quite a few times. This is where I get all my nom-noms, where I get all my food and my nutrients to sustain myself, and followed up by the pickup pad that's got a crate. Why? Son of a bitch. Why can't I build anything that isn't going to get destroyed by a massive green penis? Alright, since... Oh, why? Okay, I'm just going to ignore that, pretend that didn't happen. I'm going to come back to this at some stage and just be like, shit, half my wall's blown up. But yeah, that's my wheat farm in a nutshell. Self-destructive. It really hates its own life, and it chips away at it every time I go there. I really should light it up. But anyway, moving on to the next closest geographical build that we got done. This is my sanctuary, and this is one of the most important buildings in my Let's Play. But I think while we're here, we'll serve its purpose so we don't have to come back and do a loop around, depending on where we end. But I think we might actually create our word of the day for episode 99. This is where a lot of the word of the days get kind of credited. It's kind of eerie when I'm not recording. I just see all these signs of people's names. It's nice and creepy at the same time. It's nice to see so many different names of people that have been watching this series for so long. And I can just see names here like the Penmen, Dexter, and Noob Agent, of course, Miss Katie Cruz, and a bunch of other people that have been watching this series for so long, and eventually they got their sign. And Sir Rabwood, my goodness, you are a beast at this, at the word of the days. He went on an absolute tear. A few of you guys actually go crazy, but anyway, I'm going to credit episode 99, and we shall continue on our tour of the world. Okay, so this may test my memory, but episode 99 went to a guy who's been trying to get a word of the day episode since episode 6. So what other time would be better than the present to get one? So the word of the day winner for episode 99 was Isaiah. Oh god, your name, it's testing me. Nope, that's not it. Okay, apparently I'm really bad at remembering names. I'm sorry, but he's, oh man, oh, this is one of the toughest. Shit, Akazio, bam. I'm gonna check that. Okay, it's official. Congratulations, Isaiah Kazuo. I don't know why we just went Japanese, but well done on episode 99. And episode 100's word of the day will be released at a later date, but we shall continue on with our journey, showcasing the rest of my map for you guys who may not have seen it, or just for those who would like to see it in its full entirety. This pathway here, I actually built recently. I don't know if I actually showed you guys this, but I wanted to connect my sanctuary leading pathway to my ice build. And originally I built all of this before Silk Touch was introduced to the point where it could pick up ice. So I did all of this by hand, and what we've got here is just a basic tree farm that I kind of use if I exhaust the other one. So this bridge actually took quite a few hours to build due to the fact that I had to case mold the whole thing. And what we did here, we actually originally had an ice farm, but since the last episode I actually tore that out, and considering it didn't have much use, again I case molded that, and that's why I held on to it. But it's much more efficient if I just tear it out like this. Got much more space for casing ice, and it works out a lot better. So yeah, I really like this ice bridge. It isn't the most amazing thing in the world. I mean, once you get ender pearls and stuff, the little things like ice pathways kind of become slightly redundant, but they are still very cool to bounce along. I don't know, there's something about it. But I guess we better get into the meat and potatoes of my Let's Play, and that is my jungle. And this is my baby. Nobody's touching my baby except me. That's a little, anyway, moving on. I guess we better comment on the bridge that we made. This thing's been here for a while. Bridge Dog, unfortunately, he took a few hits and actually died here, so RIP Bridge Dog. And I've had a few pets throughout this Let's Play that have all died. Not too happy about that statistic. But I guess before we get too far into the jungle, I don't want to kind of miss anything. So here he is, my chicken cooker. I'm pretty sure this thing was built in episode 28. I don't know if my memory's that good. But basically what we do is we load this thing with eggs. It rapid fires them into this cage here. Oh! Did I just... Oh, I don't know if I did that wrong or not. But I'm pretty sure our piston system just screwed up. So that's worked better in the past. But yeah, that automatically cooks me chicken. It doesn't normally burn it. What the hell? But how I used to get my eggs, I've recently killed all the chickens due to a frame rate issue I was having. But if you want to download my map and try this, or do it for yourself, I've got a conveyor belt with chickens at the end of it. And basically they lay eggs, and then they poop them out and they go over here. And this thing was really, really good for food. But since we have potatoes and such things, again, it's a little bit useless considering like we have so much better stuff. It is a lot easier to make potatoes for life. I'm very happy that these little buggers were introduced in the games. The good old spuds, the good old potatoes. I don't know. I don't know what that was, but whatever. Moving onwards. We better show off my tree farm. This thing is almost as old as the Let's Play itself, and I kind of built this really early. If you look back at like episode 10, something around those lines, you'll probably be seeing this thing standing tall. And it kind of looks like tree cigarettes in it at the moment. But yeah, this is where I've got a lot of my wood for my projects. And this is my old pinewood tree forest, as I was commenting on before. But yeah, I don't know, this is a really simple design that I built earlier on. It's just been effective ever since, and I'm really happy with it. But of course, I guess we better showcase fireworks. Showcase my first ever house next to some beautiful fireworks. Those things were a bitch to make, but yeah, this house, this is one of the first things I built. And I haven't touched it ever since. But down here, if we go downstairs, there's actually a underground kind of network of different stuff that I built. Just kind of chests of different gear, TNT of course. Better put you back, otherwise I'll kill myself. I actually had a record farm that I got a lot of records with, and this is one of my favorite rooms in my Let's Play. It's my furnace cooking room. I love it. But down below we have a mine shaft. I don't know how many people would want to see a mine shaft in a world tour, but basically, obviously, that's where I get a lot of my diamonds, and this is kind of my goodie chest. Obviously, I've torn through resources. I'll bring my Phoxine diamond with me. Why not? We'll stroll all around with that thing in my hands. But that chest is essentially my pride and joy at the moment. It's kind of like the what is it? All of my good stuff combined into one. But here we go, my beacon design. Again, this thing was a little unorthodox, but we got it done. And if we stay on my enchanting room, this thing was actually originally going to be temporary, but I kind of just liked the design, so I kept it. So a lot of the things I was planning on upgrading, like these melon farms, but obviously different food sources and circumstances kind of swayed into factors that kind of persuaded me to do like other things. But now they're kind of just like an aesthetic kind of build. Obviously, if I want watermelons, they're still going to do the job. But yeah, melons aren't really the shizness anymore, so we've moved up in the food chain, literally. But if we fast forward to episode 14, I think it was, this is my first ever mega build, and this absolutely tore through my resources back in the day. Why is there a spider? I don't like these things. But yeah, this is my first massive build, and we actually get some word of the day signs scrounging around in here for the early episode winners, and we've got some inspirational quotes around the place. No man can be born without a vagina. Wait. Anyway, continuing onwards. This thing has three stories, I think it is. 1, 2, and this is kind of the most practical layer, but also the third. And the fat shaken thigh kid legs, I forget what I called this thing. It just looked like fat thighs of a chicken on a sumo wrestling kid. I don't know why, but that's what the roof design kind of looked like to me. But this thing allows me to have an overview of everything that I've done, and I like to just do little like 360s around this place and just have a look around the world. It's a nice view. It is a little sharp in some instances, but that's why we're going on a tour, to get a first-person experience of what we've done over these couple of episodes. It's got a pooper chute down, makes it a little bit easier getting up and down this thing. But if we go to the second layer, we can actually go on to our next pathway to kind of show off what we've done. But occasionally I like to expand the jungle build. These kind of builds aren't exactly practical in any way. They're kind of aesthetics, as most of the things I do are. But this is kind of something that I slowly chip away at. And I don't know, I just kind of add new builds here and there, and eventually we've got what we've got currently. And I really like this. I really like this as well. I really like rooms just made out of crafting benches and furnaces. I don't know why. They just make me laugh. They just make me laugh. Anyway, so this piece that I'm working on right now is also fairly recent, but it's kind of stretched on to something that I built a while ago. But I really like building these wooden kind of jungly themed builds because I think they look really awesome, and they do take a lot of time, but eventually once you get to the point where you've made so many of them, you can just sit back and look at them. You're pretty much a pig in shit just looking at your creations, and I don't know, it's good. It's good to know that I've stuck at this for so long that it's got to the point where I can actually be happy with what I've achieved in this world. Because prior to making this series, I wasn't exactly, I don't know, I didn't exactly grind this game as much as I have, and this kind of Let's Play has kind of juiced up my Minecraft experience as a whole, and that's essentially what it was to begin with. I was kind of, I wouldn't say bored, but kind of burnt out with just playing like single player by myself. Multiplayer was fun and everything, but I really like just having a single player to chip away at. But obviously recording this whole process has been something that has revolutionized the way I play this game. That's kind of a strange way to put it, but it's kind of made this much more interesting. There's a really nice view if we get on top of this, but I don't think it's going to happen. My interpearling isn't exactly at its peak, but I don't know, this whole experience of recording a Let's Play has definitely put in a bit of a spark into this Let's Play that I wouldn't have else had. It adds a completely other element to this game that I didn't anticipate having. So having you guys watch and be with me, help me out with comments along the whole duration of the series has been a massive motivation boost to keep going. And of course, that's what keeps it going strong into the future. So there's a lot of little projects that I still want to work on. This balcony is one of them, and I haven't exactly expanded into the snow as of yet. Why are these fapalicious spiders? I hate the noise they made. I'm so sorry for the noise I just made, but I just don't like them. Spiders just annoy me. But yeah, I guess we better jump down and show off the rest of my jungle builds. I really do like this one here. I need to actually make a mention. This is in no way like related to my Let's Play, but any podcast that I listen to over the course of playing this, they are the reason why I can play this game for so long. So podcasts like Painkiller already, and the Joe Rogan podcast, things like that is what, and PTFO a little bit. Podcasts like that are a massive kind of way that I can get my ears entertained while I kind of just do my thing in this game. And podcasts like that, yeah, it just really makes playing for long periods of time bearable, and have a bit of a laugh, I guess, in the meantime. But this build here is probably one of the most up-to-date builds that I've done. I kind of wanted to build a mansion here, but I didn't think that it fit. So we built this massive thing here in its place, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I don't know, things like this, little jungle builds, as I said, some of my pride and joy in this playthrough. But I'm really happy with how a lot of these builds turn out. If you're kind of the person that doesn't really, I don't know, they don't build big things because they don't think they're going to work out, I suggest that you do it anyway, because a lot of these things, I have that same mentality through most of my builds, and eventually they all come together nicely, and you'd be surprised what you can do if you have a bit of faith in yourself. That really applies to anything, but let's get all our sentimentals focused on Minecraft. So yeah, this is essentially my world in a nutshell, something I didn't think I could do, but it's what we've come out with at the end of it, and I'm pretty happy with how we turned it out. But I guess before I move onwards and get distracted by the village and likewise other kind of builds, I better show you guys my skeleton farm. And this thing is the main reason why I leveled up so much. I used to get level 50s back in the day, when they were extremely hard to get on this skeleton grinder. Man, oh man, the hours spent AFKing waiting for skeletons to build up. I don't even know if there's a numerical value. I think it's gone into the letters, it's been that long. But behind this little magical wall, nothing magic about it, we have a skeleton spawner. My particles are turned off, which is why there's no flames around it. If you turn your particles off, you don't get the sound of the rain. Just a little pro tip. So yeah, that's hopefully one of them spawns. I hate how good at aiming they are. But yeah, I kind of used to wait here for days on end, Minecraft days on end, waiting for the guys to pillar up here, and that would slap the poop out of them. And these chests are absolutely chockers with skeleton byproducts, I guess you'd call them. But yeah, that's how I did most of my leveling up in the early days of my Minecraft Let's Play. But I think we've broken down essentially most of my jungle. There's a few things that have tatted to it, like this storage room. This thing, my goodness, you guys have no idea how hard it is to get this many lily pads without chopping your own head off in just frustration. The patience game is something that I roll the dice with very frequently in this Let's Play, and this storage room was no exception. I don't know what it is, but lily pads, I just wanted to have a lily pad floor, and this really did test my patience, and I kind of harvested all the neighboring swamps, and my goodness, Painkiller already, he got me through some tough times whilst doing this. But I guess we better pay attention to my brewing room. This sheep, by the way, guys, this sheep has been here for God knows how long. If any of you guys know when this sheep originated, little, I don't know. Sheep have bad names. I'm gonna call you Doug. Dougie the sheep. I don't know. But little Doug the sheep there. He has been there for so long. I can't even remember when I saw him the first time. You guys probably may know. It's probably around episode 20 or something ridiculous. But here's my brewing station. Something that I have not used more than 3 times, I dare say. I don't know what it is about brewing, but I just haven't gotten into it. I built this giant... It's meant to look like a glass bottle. I don't know how exactly it turned out, but hopefully it looks kind of reminiscent of a glass bottle. It's a very nice view though, if you're just looking out from the bottle into my world. I really like it. But if we continue onwards, we can have a look at my boat dock. And it's just crazy looking back at all these things. I kind of underestimate how much I've actually achieved in this Let's Play. This is where we first parked up. I'm pretty sure we parked originally around this area. I didn't actually find the jungle until about episode 3 or 4. I spent the first few episodes actually trying to find a jungle. A little bit of trivia for those who haven't been here the whole time. And eventually we found our place and we made it what it is today. And normally I'm really fussy with kind of built like terrain. This is one of the things that I just sucked it up and worked with what I had. And that's kind of something you have to do. You can't look for too amazing seeds or world places to start building in, because I find that they're way too intimidating to build in. I just feel like I'm desecrating a great landscape by my builds. But if you get something that looks absolutely terrible and you add anything to it, it makes it look better. So there's a bit of a confidence boost. You're doing good as opposed to destruction. But here we are at the end of my boat ride. This is going to be one of the strangest episodes I've ever recorded, but I guess it is just a highlight reel as opposed to a progression. But this is my sheep farm in which that I harvested a bunch of wool. A lot of wool was harvested here. I apologize if you can't see too well. But this is very recent stuff. This is like 2 episodes ago that I started this thing. This is my sheeping pool where I go swimming. And I know it's lovely. It's nice to have a bunch of sheep to just cuddle up with every now and again. If you're getting lonely, why not just have a massive 300 style sheep orgy? I don't know. I'm into weird things, what can I say? Anyway, so moving on to my village. This thing was another one of those things. My goodness. Maybe I'm getting weirder every time I record this. This is one of those things that I kind of put in a fair bit of effort. I wanted to keep on the village theme. I don't know if desert villages were out at the point that I built this. But this comes with working gates. Amazing. And I tried to do a little modern day build prior to building that other one, but the border of this whole village is surrounded by a wheat farm, and this village has come I don't know if it's made progress, but it's definitely changed in the time that it's been here. It used to be a lot more houses, but eventually I kind of just built a massive eerie wooden sandstone hospital, and now the population is as healthy as it ever was. And this village has a lot of backstory you guys may or may not be aware of, but eventually I actually extinctorized. That's just putting words and just molding them together. That entire population was extinct at some point, and I had to travel extreme distances just to get the guys back. I think it took me about 6 hours to bring the village back to life, and actually get people mating in the area again. So that was a few episodes to forget. I'm not going to go and show you guys the pathway that we did. If you're interested, you could probably find it, but that was I don't know, the episode itself wasn't too bad to make, but my goodness, the behind the scenes work on that tested me beyond a lot of things that I've done in this series. And it's a little bit weird when this Let's Play got to the point where I just grinded out builds and stuff. It almost gets to the point where it feels almost job-like, and that's the point where I kind of like, wait a minute, I'm not playing the game anymore. The game is totally playing me. That's the point where I take breaks, and you probably don't see episodes for a few days or a few weeks. That's why, because when I get to the point where I feel like the game's playing me, I just take a break. I'm like, well, Minecraft, ease your shit, man. And yeah. So moving on to my reed farm here, this thing is also a fairly modern build. Not so much as like the sheepies and stuff. But that reed farm took a long time to build. Obviously, it took quite a few lily pads. I don't exactly want to plow through it because I really want to get through as much of this as I can. Because if I like kind of stay on one thing for too long, I'm gonna forget something. But this sheep down here, once my village got extinct, I actually thought that was a testificate. And I was gonna make an epic mission to get him out of there, but I didn't have Optifine at the time, so I couldn't zoom in. I jumped down, and then, lo and behold, there's a freaking brown sheep. So this, I like to call this the slime chunk error. It's a slime chunk that I manually dug out, and within this 3x3 chunk that I dug out, there are 7 chunks in which slime spawn on. But here it is, you guys. Now this thing is absolutely definitely one of the more time-consuming things that I ever built in this series. But I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't know what it is, but in the Minecraft alpha days, I just felt like digging a really massive hole down to bedrock, and I kind of carried over this tradition. The slime farm is semi-automatic. The slimes get sent underneath that slit there, and eventually they arrive here, and we get slime balls, as you can see. But I built this thing very early on. I didn't exactly make the hole like complete because that took a few way too many episodes to describe. But eventually it got finished. But what we have here is a failed project that some of you may or may not remember. The Akimbo spider spawner that I gave up on due to the fact that the wall hacks allow me to not do this efficiently. I kind of made it semi-usable, but I just got to the point where these guys just got the better of me, and what it is now is essentially what it's ever going to be, and it doesn't really have too much practical purpose, but I wish there was like a dual skeleton spawner or something, or even a dual zombie spawner. Just spiders, I don't understand why they exist. They're not that good. But the only downside to this area is that I haven't exactly constructed a way out of it, and a few lucky ender pearls is eventually what it's going to take for me to actually get out of this place, which is a little unfortunate. I probably should just put in a ladder or something, but if we can get lucky, we should be able to get out of the place. It's always a very clutch moment when you throw the ender pearl. You don't know if you're going to make it or not, but I guess we better move onwards to our next build. And I'm not too... Actually, chicken, you just gave me an idea. No, you didn't. Chicken, you don't give me any ideas. What am I saying? But there are only a few more builds that I can actually think of when it comes to the overworld. But if we head back through the jungle, I guess it's about time that we show them off. And I'm going to try and keep this episode as raw and original as possible. So video cuts are only going to be placed in when absolutely necessary. I want to make this episode kind of just like a look back at what we've done, and kind of just a massive world tour, and kind of highlight reel of what we've achieved over these last 100 episodes that I still cannot fathom the existence that I've created. But yeah, there are a couple of things in this series that I didn't imagine that I'd ever get done, and that slime farm was one of them. That massive hole, my goodness. I don't know if you guys can comprehend how annoying that is. You just bust out like 30 diamond pickaxes. I don't know, eventually you get it done, but my goodness, that took a long time to do. But there are a lot of things that I've built in this series that I've kind of destroyed, like my melon farm that I used to have over yonder at the front of my first house. But I'm kind of glad we upgraded some of those things, but they were, I don't know, it's just nice to look back at my old episodes. I kind of occasionally look back and just have a look at what it used to look like and compare it to what it looks like now, and it's just crazy. But I don't know if I showed you guys this, but this is my docking station, the hippie dock station, because it's so hipster. It doesn't even give a shit. But this thing was built in about episode 50, I do believe, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's a little bit weird if you're playing on fast graphics, or fancy graphics. You can kind of see through the leaves, but nonetheless, it exists, and I thought I'd show you guys that. But I'm pretty sure that is most of my builds in my overworld. There are a few things that I might show you guys. Obviously we've got this thing here, yet another one of my jungle builds that I was happy to make. One of those podcast builds, I guess I could refer them to. Just takes a couple of hours, and eventually you just come out with a mini build that kind of jumbles together with the rest of them, and eventually you get out something that you're satisfied with. But I really need to keep my HP up. This is ridiculous. I'm going to kill myself. But what we've got here is a secret lever. And what this leads us to is something that's fairly recent. And what we've built here is an X-ray machine that allows me to see underground. Now, I used to do this with TNT and pistons, but eventually we got the newest model here. And I'll give you guys a brief demo, but we can actually see absolutely everywhere in my Let's Play, within obviously the distance of my sight. And what this allows me to do is check caves, dungeons, and everything like that. I really do wish I built this sooner, but it's just crazy to have a look at all these things. I think that's where we're going to head next, into the nether. But to get out of this thing, it's a little bit awkward. We have to go over to here as we get our head stuck into the wood above us. Bam. Take a little bit of damage, but it is pretty nice. Like, building that thing is pretty cool. It's one of those practical builds that I like to do, but this is kind of going to be like a ninja build, really sneaky. But for those interested in doing their own kind of look around my map, I'm going to put this map up for download as it was after I finished recording, and so that you guys can have the opportunity to check it out for yourself. I normally update every 10 episodes, so this is going to be our latest update, and hopefully some of you guys appreciate me putting it up for download for you guys. And actually, see, I looked in my media file list, and some of my maps get over like hundreds of downloads, which is crazy. I don't know, I didn't realize it would go down like that. But here we are in the Nether Realm, and this thing, my goodness, if you guys have seen my latter live streams, I hate this place so much, so I'm going to keep this to a brief whisper. This area essentially holds a blaze farm, and that's about it. The outside, at least. I actually died in a stream, and I actually shit my pants. I thought I was going to lose all my gear, and I went panic mode engaged. But we've got a blaze spawner farm crusher here. Not exactly the most perfected kind of build that I've ever done. Speaking of which, I think I better close this off. I don't know. I don't even know how to control the thing. I don't know why that's there. I don't even understand half my builds, so that's why I leave it alone. But yeah, that's my blaze farm, spawner, killer, crusher. Often ends in my own death anyway. So I don't know, that thing that was inspired by Ethos Labs blaze farm design. So I built it. I was pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not too bad. I'm just pretty retarded at technical builds, but we built it nonetheless. Yeah, that's the outskirts of my nether realm. Apart from that, I've just been harvesting glowstones and wither skulls in the fortress below. But what I tried to do here is get a slice of the overworld into the netherworld, and I think I kind of mini succeeded. It's a little bit hard when the grass looks a little bit wanky, but here we've got a mini little netherwort farm. I guess I better show you guys. Goes in an anti-clockwise direction and gets us a bunch of netherwort. So I hate planting this thing, which is why I'm always hesitant to harvest it. But I guess we better showcase what I've been planning for the end of the episode. And I think we're almost at that point where we can say sayonara, goodbye, and see you later for this 100th episode. But what we have here is my final boat, my final Holden. The Australian texture language pack, my bad, is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, this is my train track that I like to take in between the Nether Realm and the End Realm, and this allows me to get to and fro very easily. Obviously, pigmen kind of screw things up eventually, but if we chuck it on peaceful or something like that, it's not too bad. But I get the feeling this is really loud, so I don't mind the music as such, it's just the sound. It's going to be over very soon, you guys. But I actually screwed this up. I actually miscalculated where exactly I did this, and you'll probably see it when I come to this corner to the left. If you look straight ahead, I actually built like a whole nother route that is absolutely useless, and there's actually nether portal like skeletons that you can see, and this doesn't take you anywhere useful. It was a kind of a screw up on my behalf, but there you go, guys. That is my nether track, and now we get teleported to my stronghold. So this thing isn't exactly spruced up. It's just essentially just a portal to go to my end, and I guess it is a fitting end to show you guys what I've done in this realm, the end realm, of course. And this is one I really love this thing. This is like, it sounds a little bit disgusting when I'm doing this, but if you get your duty doing hands to do work on the space bar, you actually run really fast on that thing. And what we've got here is my end trap, my massive Enderman farm that took absolutely ages to build. Credit to JL2579, I do believe, in Doc M77. They inspired me to build this, and here it is. This thing is absolutely crazy for EXP, but is essentially the biggest noise polluter of all time. I've got some residual EXP from last time I was here, but as you can see, I haven't even hit anything yet. I'm almost level 10. I don't know what we're going to get to. If we can get to level 15 or something, I'd be very surprised. But I mean, this thing is absolutely crazy. You can get level 30 in less than a minute, and I'm very happy I built that. But that, my goodness, again, that thing was a very tough kind of build to beat, and I'm very happy with how it turned out, though. I haven't had to do maintenance on it or anything like that. The updates haven't teased me over, but I guess we better give you a better kind of look at it. But there it is, the end farm in all its glory. It is very, very tall. I don't know if you can actually see the top of it. I'm pretty sure that's the top layer there, but that thing is about, I'm not too sure how many stories tall, but it's one of the more awesome builds that I think that I've done. Unfortunately, I didn't come up with it by myself, but I think it's about the time that we announce the word of the day. Can be thank you. I don't know, the whole 2-word thing. I feel like I'm doing something tricky, but I'm really not. But the first person to post thank you in the comment section, oh goodness, will be awarded the episode 100 word of the day. But I do, like, in summary, that is essentially what I need to really say at the end of this, because without you guys, this series is nothing. Without you guys, this series is me talking to myself whilst I play a video game. So I do appreciate all of you guys, all of your support. But here you go, guys. Here's something you haven't seen before, and here it is, my 100th episode of my Minecraft Let's Play, the final build that I've done. And I guess here it is, to celebrate 100 episodes, this is what I've built. So this thing has been a massive project over the last few days that I've been trying to work on. I really like this end stone for a beach kind of texture. It works a bit more than sand, which I find a little bit silly, but I like it anyway. So this area is to celebrate 100 episodes, the end potentially of this series. We'll see how we go. We've got a really, like, just in a summary of this series in a nutshell, I couldn't do 100 well enough. It took really long, so I kind of just got lazy, but there it is, the big 100 out of endstone and wool. But yeah, this is my latest build, and I think you guys are up to date with my Let's Play. If I've missed any builds, I do apologize, but it's all documented. Episodes 1 through to 100 will show the progress from start to finish. But essentially, guys, I really want to thank you for all of your support, for all of your help during the comments, and just all the general kind of, I don't know, help that you guys have given me through these 100 episodes. And people come and go, but I do appreciate the guys that have stayed, and I really do thank the people who are joining along the way. So you guys, this journey has been absolutely friggin' crazy. I thank you for being a part of it, and I look forward to your company in the future of it. So for the last time today, guys, thank you for watching, and take care.